I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today. And we're going to do something a little different. We're going to kick this bad boy off with an interview from a stud athlete. Rio, go ahead and introduce him, man. Let's get it going.
Yeah, tonight we have Daryl Overstreet Jr., I believe, and it's definitely an honor to have him on board tonight. How's it going, Daryl?
Oh, it's going great. It's an honor to be on your guys' show.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on, taking the time out of your busy day, and let's get to cracking.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, so first off, congrats on being committed to Upper Iowa. I'm sure that's big time for you. That's awesome. Looks like we watched a little bit of your tape and such. It looks like they're getting a heck of a player.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a real big thing, a real important thing, and I'm really happy with my decision.
Yeah, how many colleges did you have coming after you? I mean, was Upper Iowa the clear cut, number one, or were there a couple of colleges kind of in the running?
Going out on visits and stuff, from like game day visits to even like on campus like official visits. It was a few D3s around here, like Lake Forest College, Illinois Wesleyan, Augustana, which I know is out farther by your guys's, as well as Bemidji State, McKendree, and then Upper Iowa. Those are the schools that were in the running. But being on campus at Upper Iowa, it was like it had a great feel to it. It's not a huge campus, but like walking on there, I could tell the coaches they wanted me there, and like it just was an embracing environment. Some campuses, they don't have like that family feel to it, and walking there, talking with the coaches, I could feel it, and I could feel like what the players and the bond that they were trying to build and that was growing there.
No, that's a great thing, man. So everybody that's listening to this point, they don't know much about you. So you're a quarterback, right? What high school did you go to?
I attended Grayslake Central High School in Grayslake, Illinois. It's about 45 minutes away from Chicago in Lake County.
Okay. I see on your page here you have a 4.083 GPA.
Yes, sir.
Damn, dude.
I think if you doubled my GPA, I think I might
right.
get out there.
I did. Unfortunately, I didn't take school serious enough. So, damn. Yeah. Congrats for that. Gee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my education was something my parents have drilled me since day one, even before all football or anything, which has always been in my life. They're like, you have to have your education in order to do whatever you want to do. So
Absolutely.
It's just something. Just challenging myself in AP classes and like getting the good grades, and especially knowing it can help take money off of college. I was like, I gotta stay on my grades.
Absolutely, that is awesome. So you speak of your parents. Have they been pretty well involved in your football background, like bringing you up and sending you to camps and all that? And can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, my parents have been involved since day one, all three of them. My mom and dad, when I was very young, they had a football in my hand from birth. I didn't get a teddy bear, I got a football.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I got that. And then growing up, my dad, he played semi-pro, a little pro ball, and even he made the 90-man roster for the Packers at one point. So
there we go.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad, he was a stud from Memphis, Tennessee. He had a chance to walk on at U of I, but then surprise I came. So he became a real great dad. Then football was still in his blood, so he'd go play semi-pro for the Racine Raiders, tried out for the Packers, made the 90-man roster. And after he got cut, he went back with the Raiders. Then he went on to play arena football for the Milwaukee Bone Crushers.
Okay.
And then around that time, he was getting a little older, and I was starting to play. And he would coach me, be there with me, and even my mom. We'd go across the street to the park, and we'd play catch all the time, and just it was always something constant in my family.
So what I was going to say about that I can kind of tie a little bit to you myself is my dad wasn't around too often. So my mom, though, believe it or not, and I could throw a football pretty damn well, actually. But that literally came from my mom. My mom showed me how to throw a football. It was no other. Yeah. It was no other dude. It wasn't a coach, and definitely wasn't my dad. He wasn't around. So.
Yeah, my dad really wasn't the one who showed me how to throw a ball either, because he played DB. I've been throwing farther than him since I was 8.
So he's been trying to pick you off, is all it is, then.
Yeah. Yeah, so I learned how to throw and my mom will tell you, you got your arm from me. You got a lot of other things from your dad, but you got that arm from me. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it was real fun growing up. And then when my dad, he got married, my stepmom came in my life, and she was very hands-on. If you were to ask her, she'd be like, "You're also my kid. I don't care that I didn't birth you. I feel like I did." Yeah. And so been hands-on with football, my education especially. So I've had a really good support group throughout all three of my parents. They're all very involved. My dad's coached me in football since the age of 5, from flag all the way. He's been a high school coach these last 2 years after sitting in the sidelines my freshman and sophomore year. He was like, "I can't take this anymore. I got to get down there." So he was down on the defensive side coaching up our DBs this year. So.
There we go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, cool. So let's see. All right, so high school in Illinois, you just committed to Upper Iowa, and so I assume you start there here this fall, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about some of your favorite or best accomplishments that you've done so far in high school. Besides, the GPA is awesome, but let's go to the football field a little bit, right? Tell me about that.
So my favorite accomplishment necessarily isn't I got an all-state honorable mention. I was all-conference multiple times. But for me, my school, we had a terrible football program for the past 9 years before my junior year. And, my junior year till now, we were terrible. No one had expectations. It was either 1-8 or 2-7. There wasn't much going on. So when me and my best friend Kurt, who's committed to Bemidji State, which is kind of sad because we play him, yeah. But we kind of took it upon ourselves, along with the other seniors our senior class was ridiculously dedicated to our program, and we all just wanted to make it as the best we can, and we wanted to be successful, and that showed. But my favorite accomplishment was building a program with a strong foundation to where now the town of Grays Lake and the people in our school are so supportive, and they all want us to succeed from here on out. It's all the awards are nice, but knowing you built something from the ground up with your best friends that are going to be with you for the rest of your life is something I'll forever cherish, especially because the senior class has been with our head coach for the last 3 years, and he's taught us so much, from our leadership council meetings to just being a man. So having him guide us, and then us taking the program and shaping it and forming it to how we want it, it's a great feeling.
That is awesome. The feel that would be,
definitely amazing.
To literally put the foundation down for something that big, and especially where it came from, that's a big time thing right there. It really is.
I got to give you credit, man. It would be really easy for you to come on here and brag about some of those stats that we've been looking at, because you've been a stud throughout high school. But instead, you go to the team aspect. And, you talked about that coach who helped you with not just football, but being a man and leadership and all that. That answer shows that to me. That's huge, man. Yes. Respect that.
Yeah. There was, sophomore year, people who know me, they would say I was a cocky jerk. But, growing up over quarantine and just being under his wing and with the guys through quarantine and these past 2 seasons, I've grown up a lot, and I've realized that it's not necessarily just about me. I'm the quarterback. I need other guys help to get to where I want to go. So I need to build them up rather than just do it all myself. I need them rather than I can't do everything. I can't block for myself. So if I don't have good relationship with my linemen, I'm gonna get hit a lot.
Yeah.
Based off
Yeah.
7 sacks in the last 3 seasons. I think we're pretty good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So-
Amazing.
Giving them their credit, because giving everyone their credit where it's due is important. Because the guys I'm playing with, they care, and they learning. They don't really like a guy who's going to be a jerk about things. They want somebody who's going to be friends and not be all in your face about it. So the team aspect has been something that's really helped me grow up.
Oh, that's awesome. That so you go this fall. I assume, for how dedicated your parents are to you, I assume they'll be making every trip over to Upper Iowa to watch. Correct?
Yeah, they're going to make as many trips as they can. My dad said if I'm starting, he's flying out to South Dakota to be there.
There you
Of
go.
course.
That being said, what are you looking forward to most when you do your first year here? When you do get over here, what are you looking forward to most? And maybe even possibly, what are you maybe a little intimidated of going to the next level of college?
I think what I'm looking forward to most is just, one, growing my body physically and getting me ready for the college game, but as well as expanding my mental capacity and my knowledge for the game. I think that's what I'm most excited for, knowing different intricacies and just understanding the game at a deeper level. Because I feel like at high school you have a good understanding, but
Yep.
once you go to that next level and you've been there for a little while and you're understanding the schemes, how to beat a certain defense, it goes into another level. So I'm really excited to grow my knowledge of the game. And I mean, there's not much I'm too intimidated about. I think that if I was to get the chance to play, which everyone hopes they want to play, especially their freshman year, but if I did get the chance, I'd say maybe just the speed of the game for that first half, maybe first game. But other than that, I feel like once I get out there, I think I'll thrive very well. But it's just getting getting used to the speed of the game almost, because it's different than it is high school.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Backtracking a little bit, do you do any other sports in high school throughout your high school career? Have you done anything else besides just play football?
Yeah, I've played basketball all 4 years, and I've ran track all 4 years as well.
Awesome. Any accolades or in those sports as well as football?
Basketball, I was a starter for this past season, and we won the regional championship.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, we got us a nice regional championship, first time in the last 10 years. We got to win it on our home floor, and so it was pretty awesome. I got an all area honorable mention, as well as team's most improved player. I play a little bit I like to say Dennis Rodman with a jump shot.
there you go. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Some scrappiness in.
Oh, most definitely. I like getting in there, beating up the 6'7" fragile kids.
Yeah. Because because at the end of the day, you're a football player at heart. So right,
Mm-hmm.
so you're down there banging around, be like, you guys aren't ready for this.
Yeah, especially because I'm a quarterback. I don't get to hit that much in football.
Right.
As soon as I step on that court, I'm like,
Yeah.
DB. I got to play this year. They're paying off.
There we go. Hell yeah. That so let's touch on a few little odds and ends before we have another little segment we're gonna put you in, and that is number one. Who's your favorite? And we're gonna start with NBA first, because you said you played some basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite basketball player? I want to know if it all time and currently, or if they're the same player.
All time, it's Michael Jordan,
Okay.
hands down. I grew up loving Michael Jordan, watching his highlights.
Okay.
Favorite player right now, I really like Lonzo Ball.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Yeah.
a lot of people they didn't like him when he first came out because his dad, but like Lonzo, in my opinion, he's just like he's such a good player, and I really liked watching him at UCLA, and now he's a Bull, so it's really nice, and I love it.
Oh, there you go. Hell yeah. I'm a little surprised by it, but I like it. He's a two-way player too, so we got a little chip on his shoulder too. He gets in there and grimy and. So my next one is same question, but past and present for NFL player.
Ooh, I don't know if he counts as past anymore, but I'll say Drew Brees is my favorite NFL player of all time.
Okay.
I've looked up to him my entire career, especially this past 4 years. Knowing I wasn't going to be a 6'4" quarterback, I was like, let me stick down Russell Wilson, Drew Brees is, and just watching his accuracy and everything is just, it amazes me.
It is, especially the way like he times everything out and he has the play broken down where he's going to go before he goes, and the way he breaks down defenses too, which by the sounds of it looks like something that you're into doing when you do go to Upper Iowa, the part of the intricacies of learning the next level.
Yeah, Drew Brees, he's always been a favorite. And then currently still playing, I like watching Patrick Mahomes, of course, but Justin Herbert too. He's really good, but I will say right now favorite's Patrick.
Okay. No JJ? No Justin Jefferson up in there?
Got some
I know you want to.
Vikings
Yeah, I know you want to do. I know you've been doing the gritty at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite NFL team?
Oh, I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, duh.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
You've got to
Yeah.
be, right?
Got to be.
Yeah.
Well, it's odd because like my dad, he's a Bills fan, but he's not from Buffalo. He's from Tennessee, and he's a Bills fan. And like growing up with him, he's cheering on the Bills. But my grandmother, she works for the Bears team doctor.
Oh,
So-
Okay.
So my grandmother would always come home. She's like, "Guess who I checked in today?" And she's like, "I checked in Khalil Mack. I don't know who that is, but
get out of here! No way! Like, Grandma, you son of a! Like, you don't even know who it is that you worked with? Not cool.
It was like she was so confused, and she came home and asked me, and she's like, "That's amazing." And then like, I loved Brian Urlacher growing up, just as a big fan, and she'd be like every single time she seen him, she'd either try to get a picture or like an autograph or something. And like even one day she was able to get my I had this like autograph ball that I had like 2 signatures on at the time from Charles Tillman, who came to local Walgreens, and then Tommy Harris. I got them to sign it.
Okay.
And then our grandma takes the ball and she goes, "I'm gonna go give this to Dr. Katz, and he'll bring it to the facility for you." And she got like almost 40 signatures on there from different players in 2010. So I've got like Jay Cutler,
Oh wow.
Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and it's like I've been a Bears fan since day one.
Damn.
Very cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this thing. So we have one of our segments that we do, and it's called Rio's Randoms. Okay, he's gonna play his little intro music, and then he's gonna ask 3 questions, and then all we need from you, and we're all gonna answer them, not just you. Just need to say which way you'd go with it. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Alrighty. Here we go.
It's time for Rio's
Randoms.
Randoms.
You know it. All right. Let me pull these bad boys up here. Tonight's Rio's Randoms brought to you by Bo's Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Hit him up for all your power washing needs. He also does weed eating and lawn mowing, so be sure to contact him if you need any of those things done.
Spring cleaning, any of it.
You
That's
know
right.
it. You know it. So first up, tonight, what song do you absolutely have to sing along to when it comes on? You can't resist. Daryl, I'm going to let you go first.
Sweet Caroline. Every single time.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he took it. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's most definitely a good one.
What are you
Man.
thinking?
There's a handful. I feel like I've got too many kids' songs in my head because of these damn hood rats. I've got a few kids at home under 5, so it's like it's probably a Disney song, probably like Moana or something. One of those songs.
Okay.
That would be your answer,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Nah, we're just talking about anything in general popping up. But
It comes up all
Yes.
too often, man.
oh man, that's a little tougher one than I thought it was gonna be. Anything with is it technically cheating if I just say anything from I'm losing the name of it off the top of my head, but Little John and the East Side Boys. They're
Not recalling it.
The Crazy Train one or what?
No, you know what? I'm gonna go with a different one. I'm gonna go with Mother Lover. Whenever that comes on, I'm singing that whole thing all the way through. Right, Mother Lover by Saturday Night Live, Justin Timberlake and oh boy, yeah, that's what I'm going with. What do you got, Rio?
I was gonna stick with mothers and go I'm in love with the stripper too, but moving on to number 2. Describe your perfect burger.
Oh,
Daryl, go ahead. What's your perfect burger?
Let's go with the classics. You got your tomato, lettuce, cheese. Then you got to go bacon. I personally prefer barbecue sauce on my burgers.
okay.
And then I like a little spice, so maybe a few jalapeno slices and some pickles.
Oh, there you
Yeah, I
go.
like
Hold
that.
on, did you just say pickles, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of you because I have one of my co-hosts over here is anti-pickles.
DMG does
I was
not
like,
pickles.
I was like, that is un-American, right? I mean, I'm not saying you go fishing for the pickles. It isn't like you're sitting there, but if they're out there, you're putting them on your burger, right, Daryl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. See,
Thank you.
That's good.
You got it. Pickles are they're just like an American classic. It's like baseball.
Yeah, right.
See,
That's
perfect example.
Perfect example.
That is a pretty good example. I actually have been eating raw liver lately, so
That's disgusting.
I think that makes up for the anti-pickle thing.
What the heck? That's so gross. That's so gross.
But I'm going to go a little different. I like spice on my burger, so this is tough. I'm either going to do spice or I'm going to do peanut butter, eggs, and bananas on my burger.
What the heck?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, they do that at when you come over this way, over to Iowa, you need to check out any place that's called a zombie burger. They make all kinds of wacky burgers and stuff like that. Some of them be like, "Oh man, it looks gross." I have not tasted a burger from there that is bad yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll make sure to.
Yeah, make sure you check that out. I'm gonna go with. I'm kind of right up your alley here. So the good old classic. I'm talking about lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, bacon, and then I'm gonna go. I do like obviously the generic ketchup and mustard, but I'm actually gonna go with some Chipotle Southwest sauce.
There you go.
Like it.
Okay, I like that.
Not bad, not bad. So I got to go with, got your patty right, medium rare, some bacon.
Do you say medium rare?
Yes.
Man,
Right.
you nasty
It's gotta-
dude.
it's gotta move a
Goddamn.
little- it's gotta
It's
move a
gotta
little
move.
bit.
No, it's a burger, not a steak.
Gotta move a little bit, right?
Daryl, tell
So-
him no.
Right. Throw
Hell
some,
no.
throw some bacon. Throw some bacon on it.
Oh, it's medium.
God damn.
Well, Daryl, it gets better because his bacon, he likes his
Yeah.
bacon chewy. as
yeah, he
well.
likes his bacon
Bacon,
chewy.
right? Got to have chewy bacon, right? The
Oh, my
pig's got to
God.
oink when you bite
Pigs
into it.
Basically, you still want the cow and you want the pig to make some whoopee is what you want on your buns, right?
So anyways, you got the two livestock on top there, right? But then a fried egg. Okay, a
yes.
fried egg up
Yes, sir.
top. Of course, you got your lettuce, tomato, pickle, and mustard, and ketchup.
Okay.
The egg's got to be runny, right?
No.
What?
No.
Oh, the egg you want cooked. All
Not
the
all,
way.
the way, not all the way, but I don't want it like running
Cooked,
all
hold
out.
on. Cooked enough though, or it's not running.
I
Like, he
don't wanna
wants his
sound-
bacon not cooked and his
I don't want
burger
salmonella.
fucking
Come
red. Damn. Oh.
Get out of here. That is my burger. And my last one for tonight. Would you rather watch a regular season game courtside or game 7 from the nosebleeds?
Ooh. I'm gonna answer this one first, Daryl. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer this one first. I am going game 7 because you're watching something most likely like that. I mean, that's the most tense that a playoff game can possibly get. and you might see something go down in history right there. Courtside, you have a pretty good chance of just like some dude like landing in your face, dumping your beer all over you, and it would be cool. Don't get me wrong, but seeing something even in the nosebleeds, seeing that historic type of stuff, that's where I'd go.
For sure.
What about you, Daryl?
I think I go nosebleeds too, because like you were saying, you can see some magical moment, like you can see Mike winning it, or like LeBron versus Curry version 32.
Yeah.
I feel like one day. But
Yeah.
I think a game 7. I'd rather see that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Game 7, you know it's going to be a tough, fought-out game. When you're sitting courtside, that's fun. That's really cool, but it could be a blowout. It could be a boring game. You know.
You know that in a game 7, they're coming down to the wire. They're putting everything they got into it and getting chippy as shit. So, where you got?
Ultimately, yeah, Game 7 in the nosebleeds, the experience overall, the playoff atmosphere is amazing. You know, I've got to witness that, and so even up in the nosebleeds, I think that would be amazing to experience. And you know, teams battling and on the line to move, either win the championship, whatever it is, or move on to the next round. The emotion in the building be so high.
Yep.
And so that's kind of where I'm at too, for sure.
So
and
close out right there.
Yeah, and that, folks, is what I have for Rio's randoms tonight. Make sure to hit up our guy Kevin if you need anything done with Bo's Power Washing.
Yeah, it's going to be that time.
That was a pretty good set. That was a pretty good set there, Rio. We learned a lot about your infatuation with animals, borderline bestiality is what it sounded like. I don't know,
Hey,
man.
It's my burger. Get out of here. I'm not making you eat it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's gross, man. So gross.
No. Hey, Daryl, we appreciate you being willing to answer. Some of those questions get a little weird, so, you know, we want to have fun with you guys when we get people on to interview. And just from my side here, I just want to say it feels like I'm glad you've got the family surrounding you that you do, because you sound like a real grown-up young man as far as that goes. So it's really cool to see the stats, and we'll definitely be following you in your journey here at Upper Iowa, man.
Seems like you have your head on your shoulders square and everything. You have a clear path on what you're trying to do, and I hope you keep at that. Don't ever forget what your goal is, and you stick with that. Don't let anyone try to keep you down from that too. I do want to thank you for being on. I also want to say that you are more than welcome, and we would appreciate it for you to come on anytime. We'd like to talk about even your journey while you're even there, too, at Upper Iowa, too.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. I'll most definitely reach out. I had a great time talking with you guys tonight. I would just like to thank you for letting me come on your show.
Yeah, man. It's been a pleasure. This should be available this evening on Apple, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts, YouTube, possibly as early as tomorrow. We appreciate having you on, man. And we will talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
Bye.
Man, I tell you what, those better be some damn proud parents right there, right?
Yeah, that
very
sounds
articulate, has his head together. He knows
Yep.
exactly what he wants. So
that he does.
Yeah, he mentioned when he was kind of a cocky, what did he say, cocky jerk when he was a sophomore?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's grown so much in the last couple of years, it sounds like, then, you know, just to be able to recognize that.
Well, just to recognize it, absolutely. Being able to recognize exactly what he kind of was or he thought he was, and people maybe portrayed him or
Right.
thought he was. And
Had
to
to
know that he
change.
wasn't, to change that. So that's a big deal. And I'm excited to get to know the kid.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And then I want to see him also. At some point, I got to see him like throw a pass over his pops. Right? His
Oh, yeah.
pops play corner, right? I want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's going to happen.
100%. Well, I know we got some shit going on out there, Jimmers, so let's hit us with some news.
Yeah. We got quite a few here. The crazy NFL offseason continues to keep going. We can't get away from NFL if we wanted to right now. After 14 seasons and becoming the best quarterback in franchise history, the Atlanta Falcons are moving on from Matt Ryan.
Boom.
Atlanta traded Ryan on Monday to the Indianapolis Colts in exchange for a 2022 third-round draft pick. The Falcons have agreed to a 2-year contract with quarterback Marcus Mariota, who is familiar with Coach Arthur Smith's offensive scheme from their time together with the Titans.
For those of y'all that don't know, Danny G and I did call this
Yes.
on the last podcast, so you are welcome if you tuned in. So
Yep.
this should come as no surprise if you listen to the last podcast. Now,
Hold on, that's 2 for 2 for podcast. Thank you. Let's not forget that I called the Brownies and Deshaun Watson.
did.
So
That is yep.
So we're
absolutely.
practically undefeated.
We're
That's
practically
100%.
listen to the podcast. You'll know the news for
You're
it.
going to get educated.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
So 3rd round pick. Joke to you?
That's tough.
Touch what you were touching on before. You've been hearing on either on the S-spin or whatever about comparing.
Yeah, so that's what's crazy to me is listening to different commentators and that on like ESPN and Fox and everything, and they're legitimately having arguments on whether the Colts are better off with Matt Ryan versus Carson Wentz from last year. What do you guys think? I think that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, no. Carson Wentz is horrible compared to Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan has put up tons of stats on a bad team with nobody to throw to, basically, and he's put up good numbers.
Are they digging for ratings? Is that what we're getting at? Because this is even close, right?
Yeah.
Like when we were talking about like clear cut. Carson Wentz is clear cut better than, in my opinion, than Jimmy G.
Right.
Matt Ryan was never part of this conversation. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless you guys disagree with the Hall of Fame part. I mean, I think of him by the time he's done, especially, I think it'd be no different than Phillip Rivers, and Phillip Rivers going to end up in, right?
Yeah, Phillip Rivers is a good comparison. It's going to be close.
And Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers did not.
Yeah.
Did blow a huge lead. But either way, this was even in the ballpark. A 3rd round pick, that has to be completely... That's got to be completely tied to his salary cap hit, right? Like they didn't want to give up too much because they're already eating the salary cap for you, Atlanta.
Yeah, some of that, and he's older too, right? So,
yeah, but we've been seeing 1st and 2nd rounders fly off for older quarterbacks.
yeah.
I think they still eat a heck ton of that next year.
Yeah, well, they push them down. Yeah, they push them. Some of the punishment of kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. I just feel he doesn't get enough respect, man. Think about what they did last year. They almost made the playoffs last year with that team.
So part of my notes, I guess a little spoiler, which is going to happen here in a minute, but...
Okay, so for Matt Ryan's dead cap hit, $40 million for the Falcons.
Next year?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe that's the reason why they got the
They won't have to
for
pay
2
that
years.
$7.5 million roster bonus, but they'll have his dead money. It says for this season, 40.5.
It shouldn't be. They got it down before. They had it down to 30. Wasn't it 33?
This is dead money though. It's more than just what the
okay.
cap
It's not
hit
the
is.
cap hit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Carson
Well-
Wentz is when he left the Eagles was 34.
What was so? Is there any dead money next year for him?
That I don't know. Doesn't
Okay.
say.
So maybe that's the reason why you have Mariota for the 2 years. A
Yeah.
serviceable enough quarterback, but you're not breaking the bank for, which you can't because you have all that dead money, something to bypass. But this comes into the Falcons re-signed, or they've been signing players, and they re-signed Cordell Patterson to a 2-year, $10.5 million deal before this happened. Do you think Cordero would have? I mean, yes, I don't know. Do you think he would have signed there again?
Yeah, I think so.
$10.5 million for a gadget player, he'll take that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think the 2 years is smart because the way it looks right now, the Falcons are going to be in that lottery for one of those stud quarterbacks next year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you bring in one of those guys. You've got Mariota for a year to kind of help and make sure they can get up and running, and then they're gone. But, God, the 3rd round pick still, that's a hit, man. That's for your franchise.
Yeah, I'm surprised you get at least a second out of that, right? Bare minimum.
Probably push for it.
Yeah.
Unless there's some behind the scenes that Matt Ryan was. I did see something come out that he was like, I want a contract extension now after they were out. So I wonder if there was some more stuff going behind the scenes like trade me. I want out. You're obviously wanting to move on.
Which could be. He was, see, this is still the exact opposite of a Baker Mayfield. And this is him still acting more like a man. Even if he is doing it, at least he was doing it in-house and he was doing it behind the scenes. You didn't see anything. You didn't hear anything out in the streets about it.
Right.
He was going to Instagram and acting like a crybaby because people were talking about a different quarterback possibly bringing him in, right?
Yep.
So, There could very well have been. There could have been something like, hey, you need to make this, and they got whatever they could get. I still feel they could have got something, a little more, or multiple third-rounders or something.
Something.
You know?
Yeah.
We're going to do a bunch of NFL quick hitters. The Bills signed backup quarterback Matt Barkley to a 1-year deal. They're also adding running back Duke Johnson after missing out on J.D. McKissick. This is basically just to replace Trubisky.
Yep. And then J.D. McKissick. He was like basically in agreement with the Bills and then backed out once Washington matched it.
Yeah.
I like Duke Johnson. You know, I think he had a little bit of injury history there with the Browns and then just kind of had a bad luck falling out with all these teams he's bounced around, it seems like.
The Texans, and they're a bad franchise anyway, right? And then he showed a little spark when he went to the Dolphins for a few games there, didn't he?
Yep.
He was a viable kind of starter that you didn't want to have to start
You did.
in your fantasy.
Yeah.
If you were starting him, you were like, damn, this sucks.
Yep.
The Patriots agreed to terms with tackle Trent Brown on a 2-year deal.
Yeah, that was still in limbo last I had news, so that's good for them because they're another team when we talked about, you know, who's doing what. That's let pieces go.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator go, right?
You already let one offensive lineman go and Shaq Mason in a trade.
Exactly. And then old boy was still unsigned. So to see them do that, that's good, especially with your second-year quarterback.
Right. Like, what are you trying to do to this cat? Like, he needs pieces too.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Saints are re-signing quarterback Jameis Winston to a 2-year contract worth a base value of $28 million with $21 million guaranteed.
Good for them, but it also circles back to Baker. You're running out of options, buddy. You're running out of options.
Yeah.
We were talking about this at the start of our podcast, right? When we first started up the podcast. That Baker was going to be, we didn't think he was going to end, like, finish off in Cleveland. We definitely called Odell, by the way. Another one we were correct on. But we knew this would be a problem. We didn't know if, like, what Cleveland was going to do. You know, 1-year stopgap, whatever was going to happen after this year, correct? And then we all had difficulties picking where he was going to go because he didn't show anything up to that point that was really spectacular of actually warranting a bigger contract or multi-years or anything.
Right.
Yeah, and what OBJ did in LA hurt him more, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because he's still got it. It's not him.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder, we talked about, and it was something that I was thinking about earlier. You know, I have all these other places that he could probably slide in, but the 49ers, if they wanted to really move on from Jimmy G and come in with a cheaper option to push Trey Lance, if you were split in-house 50-50 on Trey Lance, you ship Jimmy G out because he's owed a big salary. You bring in Baker on a smaller deal.
A prove-it deal, at least he would think.
Right.
Where he would think it was,
a
but it
prove-it
actually
deal,
wasn't. Yep.
And he's basically the same as Jimmy G, right?
Yeah.
Game manager.
I'm with you.
He's not going to throw the ball. Now, he may take more chances when he doesn't have to.
Yep.
But, you know, a dink and dunker.
I don't think it's any different than Jimmy G, actually. I'm with you. I really am. I
That-
think
that was
they're
another
they're
spot.
about the same.
God damn it. You just walking into that. They're not the same quarterback, really.
They're pretty damn close.
You know they're not.
They are. They're on different franchises.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G's better, but I think stylistically, dink and dunker, that's what Baker is as well. Now, Baker will actually, unfortunately, win. He will throw you out of a game.
He's being nice.
Garoppolo
right now.
will never take that shot.
Yep.
He's being
I get
nice
you.
right now.
I get you.
He means it. He means that they're the exact same quarterback.
No, Rio doesn't mean it because then he's saying that Baker is better than Carson Wentz.
So I'm looking at. I'm gonna name. I'm gonna shoot off some teams. I'm gonna shoot off some teams, and I want you to give me what you think he's really gonna land. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter whether it's backup or starter. I'm not asking for that. Just where you think he's gonna end up out of these ones. So either. Because I was thinking about this as possible backup, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Dolphins, Jets. Pittsburgh. The Texans. Jacksonville. I don't think anyone. I don't know. I'm not going to call anyone out of that one.
Maybe Houston out of that list.
Washington.
So where I think he goes.
Do you have more to say, Jim?
Yeah. I'm just going down the list here. Carolina, you could still see kind of a battle possibly because they're not sold on Darnold. Seattle, and I'm gonna give you an oddball one out of nowhere. Okay, that's just because I literally am looking at it right here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't think so. I don't think Bruce Arians wants to deal with all his shit, or wouldn't. No, 3 teams. I think Texans. You did bring it up, so and that's a good. He'd go back home where he's from. Ultimately, he could definitely win that job over Davis Mills. I think. So yeah, Texans, Seattle, obvious need compete with Drew Lock there, and another one I still think is Pittsburgh. I think that job's wide open. If he feels he can beat out Mitch and, the other two, it's whatever. Plus, you get a chance to play the Browns again, try to prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would do that as well. I think that's the type of guy he is.
Yeah, the only one I disagree with is Pittsburgh. I don't see him going there. I get your logic, though. I flipped that with Carolina. I think Carolina's more likely. I think it's Seattle, Houston, and Carolina are probably the top 3. Seattle's probably the most likely, depending on what they honestly do with Kaepernick. I don't know if that's actually real or not, but that's the only X factor. But they're probably the most likely, I think.
They supposedly are in full committal mode to the quarterback they got in that trade for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and Brian Flores said he was also committed to.
Yeah, and Russell Wilson's going to be their quarterback next year.
Right,
too.
and Russell Wilson's going to be their quarterback for
Hey, just telling you what they're saying.
Yeah. They've all, the Steelers said... old boy was their quarterback without wavering, right, too, and then Trubisky comes in, so nobody's honest.
Yeah.
What about Detroit, then? We understand that Jared Goff's probably better, but you're saying like an opportunity to possibly unseat someone. It isn't like they were ever sold on Jared Goff. They made that trade purely to get a bunch of draft picks, right?
Yeah, that's a fair one, too. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it isn't going to. Regardless, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that whoever is going to get him, these very few options that are limited or a backup role, it's not going to cost much. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a 1-year deal, and it's probably not going. I don't even think it's going to hit $20 million.
Here's the other thing. I could also see them hanging on for him to him for a little while.
I don't think they want that. I really don't. You don't want to. So
here's the thing, though. Do you think your backup quarterback, say Deshaun Watson gets 10 games, do you think your backup quarterback could?
Yeah, but do you want that?
Do you
want that? Do you want that man stepping on the field when there's so much animosity? That is actually a cancer to your locker room.
Maybe, or you say play well to up your draft stock, and people will come chasing to get you.
Devil's advocate. I got you here. Okay, so let's say they do keep him. Right now, everybody knows they want to get rid of him.
Yep.
He's not going to be worth shit. Right? If they hang on to him, a couple games go through the season, a quarterback gets hurt where they don't have a solid backup, all of a sudden you have to give up some shit if you're a decent team to get Baker.
Okay.
I could see something.
I'm thinking on the Deshaun Watson getting a suspension, and if they think they are in the running for making a push, you want somebody to keep
would that
you
change
in that running,
Would that change your mind if I give you all this information here? Like they traded Case Keenum to the Bills. For a 7th-round pick, but then they also added Jacoby Brissett on a 1-year deal already, who is a better version than Baker, in my opinion, too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be similar, like style and everything, right? He would probably be.
He's more of an athletic ability. Jacoby.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like when it comes to actually passing the ball and that, right? So he's not. Yeah, I think he probably would win as many games as. Baker, right?
I just don't see it happening. They're trying to say that they won't so that they could try to get something in a trade, but there's no way when training camp starts that they have that man as part of their organization, or they're not going to tell him to. They're going to tell him to stay away.
Yeah,
they don't want that chance of a little bit of cancer. We're already going through a possibility of
they'd cut him before that, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no way that they're going to take the chance. We need as much continuity right now as much as we possibly can for possibility of 6 games of missing Deshaun anyway. They don't want any adversity. when it comes to him. I truly believe that. There's no way he stays there.
You know, that's a good point because they didn't trade OBJ either. They cut him, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, yes.
Yeah. So that maybe that's what they do. Yeah.
I forgot all about that. The Browns doing Brown stuff.
Doing Brown stuff.
So maybe, you know what? Let me go the other way. Browns doing Brown stuff. They're going to go like, you know what? You're going to play, and you're going to play 6 weeks. It's the Browns. Okay? My bad. My bad, Rio. I take that one back. The Giants are signing running back Matt Breida to a 1-year deal. Blah. The Falcons, I already told you about that, are re-signing running back Cordero Patterson to a 2-year, $10.5 million deal. I don't think that's as intriguing as it once was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess. Marcus Mariota. I mean,
Maybe.
He did good in spot duty. Let's remember that. Those are like exactly like
hasn't
plays
played in-
designed for him.
How many years has he not been a starting quarterback?
It's been 3
3 or 4, yeah.
say at
Something
least
like that.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Packers are giving their cornerback, Rasul Douglas, a 3-year, $21 million deal worth up to $25.5 million.
They haven't re-signed Jair yet.
No.
I saw they were working on a deal to make him the highest paid cornerback in the league. So,
Which he's probably
Interesting.
worth it, unfortunately.
yeah,
For a
Probably.
Vikings fan, unfortunately.
probably. Yeah.
Well, we might also steal another one of their.
I did see that.
too, baby.
Zadarius Smith is visiting with the Vikings
Yep.
after the deal fell apart between them and the Ravens. Let's see. The Rams and Matthew Stafford have agreed on a 4-year, $160 million extension that includes $135 million guaranteed and should allow the veteran quarterback to finish his career in L.A.
Cap is fake. Fake news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Cap is fake news.
So I'm gonna build off exactly what you said right there. Did you know that the Saints 2 years in a row were able to get out from underneath $110 million negative both years of cap space?
Just all these teams out here like Dink and Flicka.
Yep, Dink and
Flicka.
just flipping around. It doesn't matter. Kicking the can down the road, which at some point it's going to nip them in the ass. But obviously they could. The reason why they did it this year was because they thought they had a shot at Deshaun Watson, mixed with they actually make some cap space for right now to try to build something. But at some point it's all going to catch up.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but
Yeah.
100. I just read that though. $110 million back-to-back years you got rid of. You were able to move around. I'm with you. The salary cap doesn't really exist. I see why these players keep saying no. I don't care if you're in a salary cap situation. Pay me.
Yep.
I know you can figure it out, right? Let's see. The Browns are trading. I already touched on that. Are trading Case Keenum to the Bills for a 7th-round pick. Told you they picked up Matt Barkley too, so they have some options there to try to back up old boy.
I forgot about Matt Barkley. Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
still around.
He's still around being a backup.
The Browns are adding Jacoby Brissett on a 1-year deal to back up Watson. Not a bad backup.
No.
I mean, he's more than content with his role, so it isn't like he's going in there thinking he's going to steal the job.
Yep.
A little more detail to this, because I hear this is a very hot topic, and that is Deshaun Watson's contract. I told you it was the largest guaranteed money in NFL history. In fact, it was $80 million more than the next closest. Technically, with guaranteed money, they are on the books. There's nothing they can do. They gave up 3 first-rounders. I heard an interesting take that he is on the same level as the owner on the control of the team. There's no one else below, because what are you going to do? If he says, I don't like the coach, you're going to get rid of the coach. You can't get rid of him. You literally can't.
Well, did you see what they did?
What's that?
They made his salary like $1 million, and that way, if he does get suspended, he loses like no money this year.
Yeah.
This year. So for this next season, they made it like $1 million. So he's not going to miss like any kind of money. And
Wow.
the rest of it's the rest of what he'd get this year was signing bonus. So you get then your salary, which was what you would get penalized.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's only $1 million. and everything else after
Yes, he's 100% correct. The NFL is going to have a shit fit about
that. Oh,
that.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because there's literally, besides missing the games, what punishment
There's
is
no
there? So you get
punishment.
to keep them rested for 6 weeks now?
Yeah.
Because there's no punishment pay-wise,
Yep.
Right.
right? Damn. Yeah, I forgot about that part right there. The Rams have traded wide receiver Robert Woods to the Titans for only a 6th-round pick.
Only a 6. He does cost $15 million against the cap.
Nice
But yeah, I mean, a nice piece, and
Nice-
they definitely
nice
need
piece
it
to go
to
aside.
replace Julio.
and to go alongside A.J. Brown,
Yep.
right? Good
Big time.
team locker guy.
Oh yeah, he'll be
Locker room
solid. Better than Julio not being out there. So
Right, there's that.
there's that.
There is 100% that.
Like I said, he is coming off a big time injury, I believe. But
We've been naming all this stuff, and to me, the one I'm about to say right here is that this is me also being correct again. Doesn't
But it
Just-
doesn't happen very often.
no, it doesn't. It actually just goes the opposite way. I'm never wrong. Like I try to be wrong. I try to put something outlandish out there, and it happens. He ends up with goddamn Cleveland, right? So here's the next one I was right on, and this is actually big time. This is something they needed to do, and that is the Bengals signed tackle Lael Collins to a 3-year contract. The deal is worth up to $30 million, but in reality, it's more of a 2-year, $20 million deal worth up to $22 million. The 3rd year was added to help prorate the deal and spread out Cincinnati's cap charge.
yeah, definitely what they needed to do.
Your bodyguard is here. Nobody's going to touch you.
Touch you, I did see that.
Yeah, I like
That's
that
awesome,
because
though.
he hit him up because you guys seen that, right? Burrow sent a text to him like, deal done with a question mark. He's like, yeah, your bodyguard's here. You will not be touched
As long as he's on the field.
as long as he's on the field. But
Yeah.
Did you know? I
those
saw something
pieces,
come across.
those the offensive line from last year to
It's
right
going to be
now is
amazing if
Jesus.
they can stay healthy.
Yep.
I didn't know Lyle Collins had come across. I talked about him missing a lot of games. He's only played a full season twice. He's been in the league like 8 years. I was like, holy cow.
That hasn't been 8 years yet.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
Damn.
holy cow,
Has
dude.
that been 8 years? No way. No way. Because okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You don't
Yeah,
need him
it's
to.
up
You're
there.
in fact, you need to take a couple weeks off anyway. Both of them at the same time. Quarterback
There you
and the
go.
tackle.
Yeah.
Just kind of sit her out. Take
Sit 'em both out.
17 games. You know, very few people are going to be playing 17 games anyways,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think we're all on board on that part of it.
I don't know. In the AFC, I don't think you take any games off this year, bro.
Well, not in that division.
Not in that division.
gonna
Not
be
in
tough.
that. Well, not in the AFC West. Not in the AFC North.
North there. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a tough one.
Slugfest for sure.
Let's see. The Chargers signed tight end Gerald Everett to a 2-year, $12 million deal, returning to LA, just the other LA team. The Browns called their research and investigation into Deshaun Watson, including the allegations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct against him, extensive. In a statement the team released, we are acutely aware and emphatic to the highly personal sentiments expressed about this decision, Browns owner Jimmy and Dee Haslam said in a statement. Our team's comprehensive evaluation process was of utmost importance due to the sensitive nature of his situation and the complex factors involved. We also understand that there are still some legal proceedings that are ongoing, and we will respect due process. It was pivotal that we, along with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, meet with Deshaun to have a straightforward dialogue, discuss our priorities, and hear directly from him on how he wants to approach his career on and off the field. Saying he was very mature in the conversation, too. I didn't put that part, but...
The funny thing about that is I did see the lawyer for all those girls. He said the team never even reached out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which
I did
is,
see that.
Like, they don't care, right? Like, they're like, all right, it happened. Let's just see how mature he is in person. I don't know. But
So that... It is the Browns. We already went under that part, right? I don't know if you know much about that attorney, though, either. He's that guy that has a bunch of, like, bubbly signs outside of Houston everywhere and is like that, get a hold of me if, if you got bumped in the side of your hip by shopping cart by somebody type of attorney also.
I got you.
So like on it isn't just like he cranks all these up. That's the reason why like when it went up to 22, 23, at first we were like, oh, okay, there is something there. Let's make that very clear. I believe there's something. The number in which it happened, up to 23 of them, that's you going and juicing it. Because I think that's also what hurt you for the criminal part.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And that's also his MO. That's how he does stuff. He puts stuff out there like that. So I'm not saying that they did get a hold of him. What I'm saying is, why would you get a hold of someone that may be leaning towards I don't know, like his persona, and maybe he's leaning towards, it may not be factual shit is what I'm getting at. You go do if they actually send an investigative team, I don't know if I'd be hitting up their attorney anyways. They can go look at court documents. They can go look at that stuff versus actually talking to that attorney. Because he can't say much anyway. Client attorney privileges. It isn't like he can say, the only thing he's going to do is just give a one-sided opinion. Like, why would you want to listen to that? I'm just asking. Like, that's my... Like, I don't think... What I'm getting at is I don't think I would contact him either. If I had all the money in the world like NFL teams do, I would pay my private investigators and all that stuff, and you go dig everywhere else. I want to know about every little thing about this, and most of it you can get in the court proceedings.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't thought that much into it. I did think it was funny when he said that. I don't know if I would or not. Seems like it would make sense if you're digging in and you're trying to figure stuff out. You want to talk to everybody you can. But I don't know that they're worried about it now that the actual legal shit's done. So
yeah. Let's see. Michigan linebacker David Ajabo suffered a torn Achilles during his pro day and could miss 6 months. So, kind of unfortunate, like what we were thinking it was going to be. He'll come back bigger and stronger. Someone's going to get a steal. It's going to drop his draft stock. And
yep.
Maybe that means he'll go to a better team, though. So maybe it's good, right?
Yeah. John Clayton, longtime NFL reporter, radio host, dies at 67 in Washington following a brief illness, according to his family.
Yeah, shame. Prayers up to his family. Yeah, it's always sucks to lose somebody like that.
Yeah, R.I.P. for sure.
Yeah,
watched a lot of him.
Yeah, especially growing up, watching the good old fashioned ESPN.
Yep.
Kenny Pickett's hands measured 8.5 inches at the combine, when 9 inches is considered to be adequate. That's what she said. On Monday, 18 days later, Pickett's hands measured 8 5/8 inches.
Oh. Does size matter?
Must have been his 8 5/8 and not necessarily hers.
I don't know. Maybe he's extra hydrated, got a little more blood flow, a little swollen up.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but there actually is a hand stretching thing that these quarterbacks do. If you're on the cusp of this, they actually go through a hand stretching regimen. In fact, Kenny Pickett started doing it before the combine, anyways. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's crazy.
I'm like, why would you want to pop your eye?
I mean, I believe it, 100%. But
just the craziness of that. Anheuser-Busch, a key sponsor of the NFL, severed ties with the Washington Commanders on Friday. Though no reason was cited for the decision, Anheuser-Busch, which has sponsored the NFL for a decade and also has sponsorships with 26 other teams, not including the Vikings. So every time you go up there, you have to drink shitty-ass Miller Lite. I mean, I like Miller Lite if you want to throw us money. I do like some Coors lattes. Said in a statement to the Washington Post that it had decided not to renew ties with Washington at this time. It comes as the NFL and Congress continues to investigate owner Dan Snyder after new allegations of sexual misconduct were made 2 months ago. Whether that played a factor in the beer company's decision remains unknown. Did it have anything to do with the decision?
Give me a sign. This is a sign of shit's going to go south here real quick for those guys. That's not good. When you see companies like that starting to bail, there's some shit going on for sure. And shit's going to come out. Am I off? What do you think, Real?
Yeah, or they just don't want to be tied in with something like that. I don't know, but I mean, we'll see. I think Snyder may be tied in with too many people. It won't happen, but I think just because all this coming out, at least on the fringes, that a company as big as this is kind of putting their foot down. We don't want to be involved, and so that's all it could be.
I'm with you. I think this is about to come more to light, like any week. I won't say any day, any week. And they just want to. Maybe their contract was up just perfectly timed right now. I have no idea, but to make sure they made a point of like we're out.
I just hope this leads to out of nowhere, Dan Snyder decided to retire. At no fault of anyone's, he just decided to walk away. But then documents get leaked, and we can see what the
nobody
fuck
has seen the guy. He's been suspended from the team. There hasn't been any sightings of him either. So
Here you go.
I don't know where he's hiding. Probably in his little man cave, digging up all the Zapruder films and all that stuff from all the congressmen and other owners.
Yeah, for sure.
A letter detailing a 2017 investigation into the New York Yankees will become a public document 2 years after a federal judge ruled it should be unsealed. Manfred wrote the letter to the Yankees general manager Brian Cashman, and it is alleged to contain proof that the team's sign-stealing methods from 2017, when New York was busted for improperly using a dugout phone, and the Boston Red Sox were found to be using Apple Watches to pick up on signals from opposing teams. Duh.
Are there any teams that don't try to do shit like that?
If you ain't
Probably
cheating, you
not,
ain't trying, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
come
that Rio's
on.
motto?
Heck yeah.
Right? You ain't cheating. And we just get more technology. Of course they're going to be, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
You know who isn't cheating? The damn Twins. We haven't won a World Series since '91.
Yeah.
Infielder Ryan McMahon and the Colorado Rockies have agreed to a 6-year, $70 million extension on Monday, capping a week of spending in which the team guaranteed more than $250 million in salary. McMahon is coming off a career best season in which he hit .254 and played elite defense at third base and second base.
I would sign for half that, and I would hit 124 maybe and play subpar defense.
You think you could hit 124?
I could crack a couple foul balls.
Stop.
I could hit 124.
I'm your guy.
That's 12%.
I want to root for you.
That's 12%.
Miguel Sano to start the season for the first 20-something games last year hit .091.
Yeah, he strikes out a lot. I wouldn't strike out. I'd make contact.
Jesus.
I could get a hit 12% of the time.
12%. You think so?
I'd go 1% probably. Like I'd get a lucky hit and fucking that'd be it.
Oh,
1 out of 100.
Probably these fuckers throwing 103.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I need like guys throwing 80.
Yeah. Yeah, 80.
Yeah, if we're getting a bunch of knuckleballs and we know what's
I was
going
just going to say, hold on though. Like the movement on these balls, like the fastballs, that isn't even what scares me. You can just try to
some of those
eventually
curves-
time
That's
that
what
out.
scares me.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about the speed and how dangerous that is. I'm talking about the movement of the ball.
No. I'm saying that's the fastball is catching up to it. I can pick up the movement. I think.
Yeah, because you're just it's the other stuff, the movement of the ball, right?
I think I could actually pick up the movement stuff better.
No way.
Some of those pitches, man, are gnarly.
No, so nasty.
Yeah.
It's the fastballs. I don't think I could catch up to.
I think I could. On the fastball, I'm going all the way back in the box, and I'm swinging like as soon as I see him start moving. As soon as I see him start moving,
your foot. See, I don't think I'd catch up.
I think I could catch that eventually.
I can read a slider pretty well and a curveball pretty well.
Oh, you think
I
so?
think, yeah, I have done it before. So yeah,
At a major league level.
well, no, but I'm saying
okay.
that's what I'm saying. I think that just picking up off that and knowing that I could pick it up, I think I could do it again. Obviously, not like just jumping in, but a little bit of spring training for myself. Come on,
A little bit. A Dominican drug trafficker who was jealous of David Ortiz and felt disrespected by him had him shot at a Dominican nightclub in 2019. According to private investigators, the Red Sox slugger hired to look into the attack that nearly killed him.
yeah,
You're on the wrong side of... There's certain people you don't piss off in this world, right? I think I'd rather piss off the government
than a
than
cartel
a
leader.
than a drug lord,
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
They're like right up there tied up with like China, because China makes you disappear, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really say that, China.
Yeah.
So instead of talking, we will talk about some of them. I'm going to just, instead of who lost, I'm going to give you the list of the winners of this last week, the NCAA tournament.
Mighty Big Ten.
Not looking so mighty right now.
Not
I think
looking
they
mighty right
I think
now.
they got one left.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, oh yeah, Michigan 2.
Big
Yep.
12's got 3.
So we got Gonzaga versus Arkansas coming up this next week. We have Duke versus Texas Tech. We got Arizona versus Houston. Nova versus Michigan. Kansas versus Providence. Miami versus Iowa State. By the way, Iowa State went 2-22 last season.
They're undefeated outside the Big 12 this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're like one of the worst in the nation for offensive efficiency. They just scrap. They play some damn good defense.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
It works, man.
There's a few of those teams. That St. Peter's team, which I'm getting to. UCLA versus North Carolina. Purdue versus St. Peter's. So I don't know if you guys watched that Duke-Michigan State game.
I did not watch that one.
I watched young men grow in the moment.
In the moment, yeah. That last 5 minutes, 7 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michigan State, I think it was like 5 minutes, 50 seconds. So he's somewhere right in that ballpark. Michigan State, whoever their center is, hits a free throw. They're up by 5. And that doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but Michigan State came storming back, and they controlled this game at this point, right?
Yep.
Like it seemed like it sucked the whole air out of the building, especially that bench. And what's his name? Panchero.
Yeah, yep.
And who was it? Woodell? I forgot his name. The other star player. Literally watch these two cats take over this game. Like something just snapped. That defense cranked up too. Like they started blocking shots. Everything coming down there was getting swatted at. They came down and made all their shots, and they kind of just like flipped a switch, like almost like they looked over at Coach K and like they're like, not today.
Yeah.
Not today. That was a very impressive victory. They could have easily, they've done it a few times this year. They easily could have cashed it in on that game when they're already down and demoralized. Michigan State was jacked, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big time when Michigan State took that lead. Then there was a couple huge blocks, 2 straight. They were going to the cup, and just big man said no. 2 straight big blocks, and then they got a steal, a really bad pass too. And it was like at that point the game was over. Like Michigan State was like, "Fuck, we can't do anything." That was a really awesome end to the game. The one higher seed that I'm worried about this weekend is Gonzaga. I think Arkansas is going to pose some problems, man.
I think so.
The way they've been playing.
Gonzaga?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gonzaga?
Yes.
Yes.
They've been getting down big and then storming back.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's going to run out.
And in fact, they came up. That's 2, and I understand that doesn't mean anything. I get that in the grand scheme of wins and losses. That's 2 games in a row they didn't cover. That they didn't cover.
Or they had to come storming
And they had to
back
come
from
storming
double
back from
digit,
that. So,
from
yeah.
double-digit
And I think they only
deficit.
won this one by like 4 or 5,
It
right?
was close. Yeah, inside of 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm with you. I don't know if Arkansas is that team, but
Yeah. I
they're
haven't watched
playing
Arkansas
a little.
much.
They're playing a little more inspired. I'm with you on that. They're not. Gonzaga's not taking people out.
It's more so Gonzaga letting them do it, not
Versus
Arkansas
Arkansas, yep.
just doing it. It's
Yep.
Gonzaga letting all these teams play, come and do this to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go quick rundown. Who do you got? Zaga, Arkansas.
I'm going to say Gonzaga goes and pulls it out.
I think I still
In a
go
close one?
Gonzaga, yeah.
In a close one.
Yep, it'll probably be
Okay.
close.
Duke, Texas Tech. Now
Texas
this.
Tech.
Okay. Well, I know you probably go that way, but that being said, this line has actually went both ways. It keeps teetering. So it started off with like Duke -1. I think Duke is an underdog. That's where I just got it at a little bit ago.
Yep.
So where are you thinking, Danny? Does it end here?
Texas Tech is my national champion, actually.
Is it?
Texas Tech is playing so good, and
They
Duke is so
have.
up and down. I think I'm going to lean towards Texas Tech, yeah.
I'm gonna roll Duke on that one.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's purely with the passion of Coach K.
Coach
That's
K.
all that one is. Arizona or Houston?
I'm going to Houston on this one.
You're going with the upset.
I am
You're gonna
going-
ride with the Texas team.
I am
All right.
actually riding with Houston. I think TCU showed, what you could do to them, and I think they'll try to copy it. So
Plus 600 on FanDuel right now. One of Jimmer's stone cold locks. I have Arizona becoming the national champion.
Yeah, Arizona's really good.
If you want to throw a dart
Yeah.
at something for like bigger odds, I do have some like earlier on in the season. I have Duke as one of them too, but this one I just placed today actually. Who you got?
Arizona, for sure.
Arizona?
Yeah.
That's also for our boy Lucas,
Shout out, Luke.
Thug Life Cattle Company.
Thug Life Cattle Company, and this wonderful, I can't even finish the sentence.
Bottle of 10 high.
10 high. Brought to you by Nova, Michigan. Is Michigan done?
I'm going to say Nova. I think Michigan's time it comes to an end.
Did you see that nice heartwarming moment where Juwan
I
Howard
did.
grabbed the
I
Tennessee player and hugged him
Yeah.
because he was
I
crying?
did, yep.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah. Michigan's going to win the game.
With you. Michigan on the upset. I don't think they should have been in the first place, right?
Yep.
I really don't. They were I think they were below a bubble team. I think they were considered a bubble team. I don't even know if they should have gotten in, but they're here and they're rolling.
Yep.
So
And they're very talented.
and they are.
they're
They just
very-
haven't played up to their
Yeah.
talent all year, right? I mean, even Rio touched on that earlier. The Big Ten basically swapped.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
flip flop. So I'm going with the guys that were hot at one point or were supposed to be. Kansas Providence. This is an intriguing game to me.
I think it'll be close, but Kansas pulls it out. Possibly overtime. I think they'll give them a problem, though.
I'm with you. So I took Providence to cover. I think it's like 8.5 and when I got it. So I have Providence gonna I have Kansas but in a close one.
Yeah, I've got Kansas, but I would not be surprised if Providence wins this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Miami, Iowa State. I'm gonna go ahead and cheat right now. I'm going Iowa State. This comes back up to the Midwest. This is in Chicago.
Yep. Cyclones, baby.
Yeah, I'm rocking Cyclones as well.
Are you? There you go. Big 12. Ah, duh.
Duh.
Silly.
Mighty,
One
big,
last
mighty,
week.
mighty Big 12, baby.
right. One last 2 years before your SEC. You might as well eat it. I got you. UCLA, North Carolina. Are you riding the North Carolina hot streak?
I'm riding the North Carolina hot streak. I think the tournament is – it doesn't matter how you start, play during the year, because Texas has a win over them, right, early on. It's how it's teams getting hot at the right time. We talked about Michigan. North Carolina's that team right now, and I think they win.
Fuck, yeah, they look so good right now.
They look so
Totally
good.
Agree.
They were able to fight off Baylor.
They were blowing them out.
They were blowing them out. Baylor came back and to tie it, go to overtime, and UNC showed the their way to face adversity and finish it off. I'm gonna ride UNC too.
Yep.
I'm sorry, this isn't. I'm not trying to do the hate on the Pac-12. I mean, I picked Zona, so. But UNC's just been on a different type of role. As soon as that Duke thing, they went through the ACC championship. And then finally, Purdue versus St. Peter's. St. Peter's, the Cinderella team.
That it's a good story and whatnot, and you have them pop up all over the time, but I'm going to take Purdue. I think it finally comes to an end. I watched them play Texas and just the big men they have inside. Plus, we get the help from the refs like they did the other night. They'll be unstoppable.
Purdue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the
Yeah,
free
yeah.
throw?
There's been
50 to 12.
Yeah, I've seen some. There was some bad. By the way, we won't
There's
go
been
over
some
each one.
bad
There was some
reffing.
bad officiating in this set of rounds.
Just
right here, right?
it's been horrible.
That was
They
bad.
teched up a guy who
Illinois
just
on
dunked.
hanging on the rim,
Yeah,
hanging on the
all
rim.
he did was dunk it and come down safely. It's
Yeah.
Anyways, but I do think the run comes to an end though.
Remind me what St. Peter's seed is.
15. Sorry, 15 seed. Remember, they are, and they've still been winning with it. They're like the 360th ranked
I think
offense.
Purdue probably beats them by like 10. I think they.
Yeah, the
Stomp 'em.
offense is terrible. Yeah, I'm going to go Purdue.
I don't think they have an answer, just like Iowa didn't really have an answer for them earlier in the season. We split with them, Purdue.
Yeah.
And that is Mr. Ivy. One hell of a special talent that should be jumping in the NBA. And I'm not even talking about their center who knows how Travion, who knows how to dish the ball like magical, or their other big boy center either. But that Ivy, which my son who's listening to us knows exactly who I'm talking about. He's a special talent. And I think that he's the one that kind of helped pull away from Texas the other night too.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that I work with actually used to be the mascot for the Purdue Boilermakers.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's
So my
awesome.
phone blows up about when Purdue shit happens, Illinois. There's a few other states that guys work in, but yeah.
Okay. And that's so that's what we got for our picks there. I think it's been a highly entertaining NCAA bracket already. There's been some very
It
close
has been,
games. There's been some upsets.
I tell you what, this is the best March I've felt in sports in a long time. Y'all aren't as big wrestling fans as I am, but I watched the NCAA wrestling tournament, and there were overtime matches galore. Just amazing, awesome matches across the board. People weren't getting blown out or winning, and that was awesome. The games, I think these basketball games have been really, really good. Overtime, even the Baylor one, they come back and kick it overtime. I think there's been some really darn good games just all around in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you that are wondering, March Madness bracket, we're 1, 2, 3 in the bracket right now, even though all our brackets are destroyed.
We're 1, 2, 3
are
right
we?
now?
Yeah.
That probably won't last much longer because I don't have – well, I think I might have to double check. I think I have Texas just got bounced. Shit.
He has Texas Tech as a champ. You had
I know I didn't.
Gonzaga's who you had.
Gonzaga,
So
and
you're
who's the
still
other
in-
one?
I had Bama,
Playing in it.
and Bama lost.
You had Bama?
No, what I mean, who do we – did you look and see who they're facing? Who each one of our champion is facing?
No, I didn't. No,
Okay.
Nope.
Still got Zaga. I thought I had like somebody else, not quite exactly what someone was thinking either, but I can't remember. Oh, let's get moved on there. A jury on Monday convicted a Tennessee man in the slaying of former NBA player Lorenzen Wright, whose bullet-riddled body was found in a field nearly 12 years ago in his hometown of Memphis. Finally, some justice.
Yep, finally. That's good.
You piece of shit. With all due respect.
With all
Or
due
no
respect.
no respect. Either way. The Blazers announced Monday that Damien Lillard will officially miss the remainder of the 2021-22 season after undergoing abdominal surgery in January. The team said Lillard has progressed well through the reconditioning phase of his rehab protocol and met several key performance benchmarks to date. He will continue his end-stage rehab over the next few weeks. Lillard last played on December 31st. Duh. Right? There's no way he was coming back.
No
right?
way. After all this time out and no reason to, really.
No. They don't have a legit shot.
Kind of think he's done there.
I hope he is.
For his sake, we hope so. But he just signed that contract again.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm with you. I hope he does.
They just can't commit to really bringing more pieces in.
Not at all.
No. And I don't know. They'd have to
Good
nut
pieces,
the draft.
you know,
yeah.
so.
Paul George participated in 4-on-4 practice against LA Clippers assistant coaches with minimal contact Sunday, and his shooting elbow is feeling better. With the play-in tournament 3 weeks away, George took an encouraging next step in rehab and is making progress as he tries to make a return for the 8-seed Clippers.
They sure flipped the script, man. Earlier this season, they looked like dog shit for a while, and I was like, man, it's not even fun to watch them. I think I watched the Mavericks just destroy them, right, just before like the All-Star break. And they've been playing really well without those two big pieces as of late, man. So, that'd be really good for him if he could come back.
Yep.
Here's another dove for you. Pelican Zion Williamson won't return this season due to his foot injury.
Yeah. Definitely knew that was happening.
Not shocked? Is that what you're saying?
Bust.
Oof.
Yeah,
Bust.
I'm with you.
On what he should have been?
Yes. If
Should have and could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The short little bit that there was, though, he kind of, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to try to defend it. It's a strong word. I hate to use that, but yeah. And
Greg
especially
Oden
the
started
foots.
out. He played decent, and then
He
all of a
did.
sudden,
Yeah.
I mean,
He did.
I hope it doesn't turn out like that, but
Yeah, hopefully he's able to get
Going
back,
down that
but
road.
it isn't looking like that so far. English heavyweight Tom Aspinall has said respectfully, no one outside the top 10 of his division is capable of giving him a challenge. Aspinall ran through number 6 ranked Alexander Volkov in the main event of UFC Fight Night. He peppered Volkov with boxing combinations and picked perfect moments to take him down. Once he got the fight down to the ground, he hit Volkov with nasty elbows and eventually produced a tap at the 3:45 mark with a straight armbar. A nasty-looking armbar, by the way. After the fight, Aspinall asked for 2 things: a beer And his next matchup to come against Australian fan favorite Tai Tuivasa. Aspinall only signed with the UFC in 2020, but he has roared up the rankings behind 5 consecutive finishes.
Yeah, and
Give
the
it to him.
heavyweights. Yeah, give it to him. The heavyweight's not super deep, so
Right.
he deserves to be up there. Give him a shot. Tua's a stud too, man. That'd be a fun fight.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah. For sure.
And they like to drink too. Fuck yeah.
Speaking of UFC, real quick, I don't know if you've got any more on that, but I did see that. So Kazmat, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is number 2, right? Kazmat is minus 450 favorite. And what is he, 9 now? Did he jump into crack the top 10
I'm
at
not
9
even
or 10?
sure, but that's funny.
In that area, and he's favored by that much. Like,
That's insane. And I think he does it too.
yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. Nick Saban says he isn't taking any quarterback commitments in the 23 class until Arch Manning makes his decision.
Going all in.
Damn. Well, first off, when have you ever seen Nick Saban wait on anybody?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen him, like, he believes in his program 100%. If you don't want to get on, I have somebody else behind you ready.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. So I hope Texas can make that push. And they're trying hard, and he's visiting again. So hopefully they can close the deal.
Not too difficult. Just get some of those rich Texas Oiler guys pony up some dough.
Heck yeah.
This one came across a little bit ago. Augusta National has confirmed that Phil Mickelson will not be participating in this year's tourney.
Oh.
This will be the first time he has missed this tourney since 1994.
Well, why not?
I didn't see. I don't know if it was purely because of that whole Saudi Arabia shit or
yeah.
what.
Huh, that's crazy. Speaking of golf, man, it's about golf and weather here. Of course, I think just opened up today.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting out there eventually.
Yeah. I have my golf cart in the shop, so we're done playing around. Like,
Let's
get
go.
this bad boy going.
Yeah, I got my my membership order today, so
Boom.
ready to rock.
Hell yeah. Did you guys,
You want a quick laugh?
yeah.
The Browns wanted a first-round pick for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it's
That's not
the
happening,
first
right?
overall pick, right? You have to.
I know they
he doesn't
gotta
deserve
try,
it,
but-
yeah, but damn.
That better be like a quick try.
Yeah.
Like, see if the dude's drunk, the other GM that's on the other end of the line.
And then just
Okay,
be-
you're
just
straight.
kidding.
No, I'm just kidding, bro.
We'll go,
I got
we'll go
you.
fourth,
Oh yeah, dude.
fifth.
Definitely Brian Flores and I'm like, dude, they were drunk, they were hungover. What the hell?
Did you hear? Old boy's got a new job with Ohio State. Urban Meyer. Did you hear?
No.
I've never even heard of this, so it's got to be brand new. But it's basically, the title is like president of nil deals or some bullshit like that. Basically, he's gonna help recruit people through nil deals and shit like that. Is what it is.
Jeez.
Why? Dude can't remember anyone's names. Did you see that too?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
Like,
remember.
you see that new one that came out that he didn't even know who Aaron Donald was?
Who's
Yeah,
this 99 that we need to watch out for?
Yeah. What the?
Yeah.
What? This dude maybe he needs to go see a doctor. Onset dementia.
Something, dude.
There's something going on.
something.
And whatever, people keep letting him back in the door. We found out he's a big old pile of shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's what I had. Except for one small thing. Auburn star Jabari Smith was saying that he doesn't know if he's going to enter the NBA draft. He's a consensus number 1 pick right now.
Who has the number 1 pick?
That's lottery. You don't know that yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
he's going to the NBA, dude.
Yeah.
It's always cute whenever they do this, especially when you're like a legit
I
top
don't know.
5.
Hold on, hear me out. All these Neal deals make anything possible now. If you can stay and make just as much in the NBA,
Depending on where
on your rookie deal,
I got you. Depending on
whatever.
like where the lottery ends up.
right? You can just
Like if it's like, hey, hold on, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
exactly.
roll with Orlando.
right, exactly.
You know,
Or I
not
don't want to be, wherever. You're just like, yep, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna collect my few million here in college and ball out. Party.
Auburn's a good team too.
Yeah,
So,
make another runs.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And then we'll hit on my strange law,
Let's
gentlemen.
go.
We're on to Delaware. They only have 2 kind of funny ones. They're kind of shitty, actually. But in Delaware, it is illegal to get married on a dare.
On a dare?
On a dare. You can't get married.
What about in Iowa? I dare you and Danny to just hook it up.
We did that in Vegas once. It wasn't fun.
It wasn't as fun.
It
as
isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Right.
It's actually like
and wear the dress. He was wearing nothing
do.
under the dress. And
Yeah. Well, that's duh.
Duh.
It needs to be a slam dunk, right?
Slam dunk.
It wasn't a wedding dress. It was a sundress as well. So.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, where the wind, nice little Vegas. Yeah. Nice little Vegas wind comes up, swoops up. Whoosh.
You hear that right, boys. It's sundress season. Don't let an $18 sundress cost you 18 years in child support.
Yes.
Right.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom for tonight.
All right. And who's got the make sense?
Go ahead and roll with it, Jimmer.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. We're going to go with a good buddy of mine. Every so often, I tend to get heated. You may have never seen it on the show, but might get a little warm. Well, we're in what we like to call a packaging room. And there is one packager in there. Now, this old school system is the same thing that they ran back in the late 80s and early 90s. That same stupid ass setup where you're tearing apart your hands, shoulders, everything you possibly think. 'Cause it's grabbing a bag off there and you're moving this through a sealer.
It's a manual.
It's a very manual physical labor job, right? And it's over 8 hours, right? It's doing it during an 8-hour period. Now we're going with a faster product. Now normally when you have so many bags an hour, we'll say the magic number is definitely 40 bags an hour. You definitely have 2 people in there doing that at least. We walk in, we see they have 1 person in there. I'm having a bad night to start it off, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? What do you mean? We had like nobody. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't have anybody? Then you slow the dryer down. Sounds pretty simple to me. I'm like, if you don't have another packager, slow the damn thing down, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, eventually what we like to call a fake lead, because I was one of them too, comes in, and I start giving him the business about it. He's my buddy too. He's like, what do you mean? I didn't have anybody. It's one person can do it. I'm like, it doesn't matter if one person can do it. You're literally tearing apart someone's shoulders and hands for 8 hours for what? Like, that is ridiculous. If you can't do that, then slow the goddamn dryer down. Well, I can't make that call. You don't have to make that call. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
We're going back and forth. He's getting heated at this point. He's like, well, I went in there. I'll do it. I'm like, good. I heard you just say that. So every time there's a scenario just like this, I want to see you in there every single time, all 8 hours. Not a little break, all 8 hours, because you had no problem with it, right? Well, you don't need to go that far. You know, we're going back and forth about this. And I was like, well, you're never going to get anything changed. They can't justify bringing in new equipment in there to make the job less physically straining because it doesn't make any money right now on that particular thing. I'm like, he's like, and he just went back to, well, we just don't have anybody. They moved 2 people up there and they both chickened out and used personal time and deuced out early in the night. I was like, oh, did you still have a runner down then that other dryer?
Yeah. Could you still slow down?
Yeah, you could still slow down. But even if you couldn't, like you felt like you couldn't, what do you mean you didn't have nobody? Did you have a runner over on the other dryer where we used to run 10 plus years with no runner? It was just a ring. It was just a dryer guy running that. If there wasn't a runner guy that would do all the other stuff, you couldn't uphold him up here to help that one person that is tearing apart their body. And a new person that you literally just brought in that isn't going to say no, is going to do whatever he has to do, has been fighting to try to get a job there for how many years, and you were whooping up on his body. Well, you could just come to second. It just went round and round. My point is, though, and we've touched on this many times, there's going to be nobody that looks out for you, especially at your company. So there's the words of wisdom. Take care of yourself. If you need to make a statement, especially in today's society, everyone's looking for employees. Nobody wants to fire anybody. You literally walk. You don't have to walk out. Literally walk into whatever. Walk away from what you're doing. Step right there and be like, I'm not going any further until you do one of two things. And one of them is either you get some help or you slow it the hell down. But take care of yourself. Yeah. Damn. I was just like, makes sense if you don't think about it. I'm like, we're going to sit here and keep hammering.
Yeah, when there was no reason to, wear one guy out.
Yeah, how many weeks has that been down now?
What, it was down just one, right?
No, it's been down multiples. It just, like in betweens. I think it's been down at least 3 weeks this year. Not in a row.
Yeah,
throughout this year,
several times.
And we're in that particular dryer, they are supposedly they have like what, almost 40% of the whole year already done of what you would normally produce in that.
Yeah.
So there's no need to fly, right?
No. We didn't need it back then. We didn't need it now. It's
man.
Take care of each other. The business is going to take care of you. You take care of each other.
That's right.
There it is.
Very good words of wisdom. Not everybody's as soft as Jimmer. So you got to look out for yourself. You got to look out for yourself. You're not always going to have that.
He's rock hard right now.
He's rock hard right now. Okay.
But
not always.
Not always.
For sure. Well, that about wraps her up, ladies and gentlemen. So we appreciate all of you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, all those different things. The podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts. I'm telling you, if it exists, it's there.
That's right, baby. And definitely hit us up with some more stories. If you know anybody that might want to get on for an interview, different things like that, it all goes down
in the DMs. Hit us up with a special story, words of wisdom. It makes sense if you don't think about it, whatever. We'd love to hear it, and we'll get out to all the listeners. Make sure to slide up to Gentleman's Way and get a haircut. After you get a haircut, you can enter to our raffle, and we will pay for your next haircut up there. Well, and we'll check that in about a month or so.
Absolutely. And today, a special thanks to Daryl for popping on the podcast.
Yes.
We're going to love following you when you head up to Upper Iowa. By the way, nice move coming to Iowa. Yeah. God's country, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, God's country. I don't know what the hell you're chuckling about over there. I don't think I've ever heard that mentioned in a movie about Texas, right?
I'll find it somewhere.
I've never, I'm just saying. It was confused. Like someone was confused about this being heaven or whatever. So someone had to say, no, it's Iowa.
Exactly. It's definitely God's country, baby.
All right. Yeah.
But hey, yeah, again, thanks, Daryl, for popping on. It was a good time.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate it, man.
You were willing to put up with the questions, too. We appreciate the entertainment. Yeah. For sure. That was a good time. But hey, thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.